Then did you want to do the share screen now? Or wait till somebody asks?
Yeah, we'll wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. So welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So cheers, everybody. We made it. It's another Friday.
Well, it's another every other.
Every other Friday, right? Well, it's still Friday. Except for our friends in down under in Australia, it's Saturday. So they're ahead of us. All right, let me get everybody else in from the waiting room here. Got a few more folks to bring in. Oops, there we are. Okay, awesome. All right, well, hey, everybody. I am Lisa, Lookout Lisa, your host tonight, and this is our other host.
I'm JD, Kid Vegas 19.
Yeah, and we're here in our home office studio in Spokane, Washington. Kind of a cool day. I actually wore a sweatshirt all day today, still waiting for summer to make another reappearance. Maybe next week sometime. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, let me get a few more folks in from the waiting room. All right, so our topic tonight is geocaching Q&A. Curious what your burning questions might be about geocaching. Maybe something's come up lately. You're like, maybe things have changed and you want to talk about it. You've got some questions. Yeah, we all have some questions about some things. So I wanted to leave it open for that geocaching Q&A. And but before we get there, we've got our notes from the field. Love to know what sort of geocaching activities folks have been up to here the last couple of weeks, or milestones you might have met, or some plans that you have that are coming up, what you might be looking forward to doing here soon. And I see in the chat, people are posting where they are from and their geocaching name. So cool. I see we've got folks joining us from all around Oregon, Florida. Um, let's see here. Washington State, a couple of folks from around the state, big state. California, Michigan, Colorado. Oh, this is awesome. Good deal. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hey, YouTube, feel free to post in the comments there as well. And JD will bring your questions and comments into the conversation.
Yep.
So yes, we have abandoned Facebook. It is not playing nice with streaming. So, but we like YouTube. All right, got a few more folks from the waiting room to bring in. There we go. And but before we get even going with our notes from the field, we do have some guidelines, some rules that we can all agree on to keep this Mappy hour moving smoothly and comfortable for everybody. So again, treat this like you would any other geocaching event. There might be kids in the room with us here on Zoom, watching on YouTube. This is being recorded and will go into our Mappy Hour hub and also feeds our AI, our Cache GPT, everything that we discuss here. Oh, good grief. Waiting room is busy today. I bet those magazines are, I think I updated the magazines the
Yeah,
other
that might be
day.
it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, keep yourself on mute unless you are asked to or called on to make a response or to add to the conversation. So just raise your hand if you'd like to speak. But if you have something that's burning, if you've got an answer to somebody's question, because I know within this room, I would love for people to put in the chat how many years you've been geocaching. And then if somebody could do the math, I bet you we're going to go well over 100. We have well over 100 years of geocaching here, I'm sure. So we're going to have answers to people's questions. So if you do have an answer to somebody and you haven't raised your hand, wave frantically at the camera and or something, do something to catch our attention, and we'll bring you in so you can help answer somebody's question that they might have or
We got more
add to the
people.
comments. And my goodness, let me get that waiting room fired up here. There we are.
So clarification
Yes.
is answers to puzzle cache a burning question?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We do not give answers to puzzle caches. but we'll help you solve them. And yeah, stay tuned to the end. We do have some special announcements regarding puzzle caches too.
I could give them the wrong answers.
Well, we can give an answer. Yeah, definitely might not be the right answer, right? Love it. Awesome. Well, I think that basically covers everything for how we can all agree to run Mappy Hour here together. All right. So, oh my goodness, if somebody could catch that math on there, I'm already seeing
Yeah, we're up to 100 already.
50, 60, 70.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I knew we were going to go well over 100. I knew it.
And Shabri 9 from YouTube has been caching since 2005. So that's 20-ish, 19 years.
19 years. Yeah, from one of our friends on YouTube. Awesome. Nancy says 16 years. Melissa, 14 years. Yeah.
Did you see Ronald?
Almost 20. Which one was that?
Scroll up.
Oh, there it is. 24 years.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well played. For sure. I think you might be the winner, one of the longest ones caching. I'm only at 20.
So now I got a burning question for Ronald. Are you a charter member?
We'll have to wait and see.
He's getting his audio set up.
Oh, okay.
What was that again?
Are you a charter member?
I think so. I really haven't paid much attention to all these years.
So how do you tell?
Well, you go, I know when you sign on, you can, I think it tells you when you sign on what you are.
Yeah, I could have been a charter member. I'm always kicking myself for not. Who knew it'd be important, 22 years ago, right?
24.
Starting some new thing. Yeah, for sure. All right, well, we've got a bunch of hands that have already come up, so I think it's notes from the field that we'll jump to first.
Sorry, went right to the burning questions.
Yeah, well, you can burning questions. Okay, like I said, I'm flexible here tonight. So somebody isn't muted.
Just wrong.
Oh, okay. All right, so for our notes in the field, we'll start with Robert, who gets a gold star always for being first. And then we'll jump to Vince and then Scott.
I'm pretty sure Robert raises his hand on Thursday.
Go ahead, Robert.
I'm pretty sure I do. I just haven't figured out how to put the raise your hand button before I even get the host to log me on. Yeah, so I attended a geocaching event this week. I was able to meet with several geocachers at about 7 a.m. in the morning, and participate in a geocaching event. And then basically we discovered trackables and discussed geocaching. While we were there, a new puzzle cache came out. So several of the geocachers there were able to solve it. I had to wait till I got home to my home computer here to solve it. It was one of those things that racked my brain for a while because it's one of those puzzle caches that gets you because it's has a acronym that only Coloradoans would probably know how to say, and I'll put it in the message center so people can see and take a look at it for themselves. I've also been going around to geocaches and picking up trackables for Cache Fest. So I can go in Oklahoma and swap out some more. I usually take about 130 to 150 trackables with me and swap them out at geocaching events for 150 new ones and then disperse them over the area.
Wow, that's a service. Good job.
Indeed, it's fun. It keeps my trackable numbers up. I'm up to 6,100 trackables moved and discovered so far.
Wow.
I'm sure there's a challenge for stats like that. That's a question.
True.
There is.
I have found some caches in Colorado Springs that do that for challenge caches. I also wasn't able to publish my Jasmine challenge cache from last time I was telling you about because there was already one in my state. So the geocaching HQ rule is that there can only be one Jasmine challenge per state.
Yeah, bummer.
So I just have to wait for that one to pass on.
I guess so. Oh, sorry about that.
It's all right. It's the rules. You got to respect them.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, thanks, Robert.
Thanks.
Yeah, sounds like you've got some company is going to be joining you at the Cash Fest. So I see some posts in the Tony there in the chat.
Ah,
Yeah.
Sounds good. When you get a chance, look at that mystery cache I put in the message board. It's a little tough to figure out.
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, I see the link. I'll take a look. Cool. Thanks. I think it's Vince.
Vince is next.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this past couple weeks, last weekend, I took another little day trip up north and picked up a few more counties for the current Michigan geocaching county challenge that they've got going, where you got to get 4 different types in each county versus just one. And then I attended a nice bonfire event up there while I was at it. And then earlier this week, I attended a couple more events this week, which now qualifies me for some. There's this event streak challenge that's in Michigan. Anybody that's from the Michigan area is probably familiar with it, but um, that now means I've attended events now, at least one event every week for 52 straight weeks. So there's now challenge cash now that I now qualify for.
Wow.
And then also, I had an adventure lab, and I got my virtual to go live within the last week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I had an adventure lab credit that I had to use up, so I thought, at the location where my virtual was, and I thought, that's a prime location, and I put out a nice little adventure lab too to help get people to go to a few of some of the other stops at the there. So
Oh, that's awesome. Well played. I like putting those two together.
mm,
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Vince.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've got Scott next and then Jim. Start.
Well, I made it to Chicago. I did not get all of the adventure labs fairly early after leaving Flagstaff. I realized I have just given myself too much to do. I could either stay up till 10 o'clock at night and try and get them all done, or I could relax and make the journey the destination. And so the journey became the destination.
Nice.
And came up with a plan that's going to work out very well of just I had an event scheduled in St. Louis, so I thought I'll just get as close to St. Louis as I can. Then I'm going to skip a bunch and make a gap. And that allowed me to do things like I'll spend time at the Oklahoma City Memorial, which is just an amazing memorial. Allowed me to go to a trading post that was owned by a Native American and have my first Indian flatbread as a taco. And so that was wonderful. And now I do have some plans, probably in a few months, to go finish. And it's from Kansas to St. Louis is what I need to do. I think my wife is only going to be 2 days to do that, and I think my wife's gonna join me for those 2 days. So she knows geocaching. She doesn't particularly like the geocaching part of it, but she really likes the adventure lab part of it. And
Mhm.
Missouri seems to, and Ryan Semmels, I'm sure, has really good adventure labs to do. So that's coming up, and I need to do Kansas, and and you know what else is in Kansas? Mingo is in Kansas, so I'm going to line up so that Mingo is my milestone 30,000th geocache.
Wow, excellent.
There
Okay.
we
Oh my
go.
gosh.
There you go.
Which is a real milestone,
Yeah, exactly.
by
Yeah.
geocaching.com.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that was it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of long days. I can't believe I was gone for 19 days, almost 3 weeks, but got back on Saturday and getting back into the groove. So thanks for letting
Wow.
me share.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you and the big long road trip
Yeah.
that you've been on. I like how you made that adjustment and thought about what was most important to you. And it also opened up the door for another trip. So cool.
It did. Thank you.
Yeah. Right, we've got a few more hands have come up. So it's Jim, Ronald, and then Charles.
Well, I just wanted to let everyone know that my planned and the last time I said I had planned my first event for it was last Saturday, so it came out great because I have 14 people that attended, including Molly the Geocat. So 14 people attended my ice cream social or whatever you want to call it. So, and I hit a cache across the street for a shared first to find for anyone who attended. So, I mean, that was kind of like a second thought, but I thought, why not? But it went off great. I mean, I was surprised that there was 14 people that showed up, but
No, that's good. Yeah.
That's good turnout.
now I got my first official event type cache on my account. So,
Mhm.
then I kind of threw another one. Next Thursday, I threw another event. Got this little sequence going. I have an event in the park that's right, like, well, the park is actually about 100 feet that way from where I'm sitting right now, and so there's a picnic table and stuff in there. So I just thought, you know what, I'll just put a half-hour event right there. I can just walk right over there and have a second event. So anyway, that's my notes from field.
Excellent.
Awesome. Sounds like you've caught the bug then for hosting events. So keep it up. Have some fun with that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Ronald's next, and then Charles.
It's still on mute.
You're on mute. Can't hear ya.
Oh, there we go. There we
There.
go.
Yeah.
Got you
You're
now.
back.
Okay. So, as I was saying earlier, end of July 24 will be 24 years. And so that can probably be considered as the old man of Florida. And Scott, did you get a chance to geo podcast of Nick this last podcast?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did listen to him. Yes.
Did you? And he really had some good insight about his journey of a year.
It's amazing what he did. I mean, I was going to try and emulate and just do a video every day. Stopped at day one.
And he talked about
and
how
was
he
very
almost
glad to do it.
he talked about how he almost gave up because his dog got sick, and his dog was his thing, and without his dog, he was just had no reason to keep going, but he kept on going, and finally put into it and put
Yep.
over 100,000 miles on his car.
Yep, that was amazing. I'll put the link to the YouTube in the chat.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. So yeah, you guys are talking about Meg Planner. I think that's the name. Who
Yes,
had a goal of finding a cache in every county and every DeLorme page in the United States, or at least
And
the
he
low
did.
48.
and he did.
And he finished. Yeah, he just finished.
Sheesh.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he's a fanatic of it because when he was here in Jacksonville, oh my goodness gracious, couldn't stop him. You couldn't anchor him down.
Whew, that's some dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
some fun.
since he being a former Marine, when in doubt, send the Marines. Simplify.
Totally makes sense. Thanks for sharing that, Ronald. Wow.
Okay.
Charles is next.
Yeah, Charles.
we go on the button. Yeah, this week traveled a little bit. I was out in Toronto last weekend for some swimming activity, but I actually took an advantage on Friday night to attend an event. Sunday morning, then another event to make it for my 40th week in a row. So just catching up to, or trying to catch up with somebody else who just had his 52nd week in a row. Hopefully eventually it'll stop so I can catch up, but anyways, we'll see. And then Monday morning I left for what was supposed to be a short flight to PEI and ended up being an all-day flight, so changed the plans a little bit, but I still got a few caches, including my last one that was missing for the Great White North Geo Tour, which is basically in each capital there is a multi or a cache or a trad cache that you have to find. And then once you get all those finds, there's a code in it, and then you end up finding a cache back here in Ottawa to complete the tour. So it's about 11 caches. It takes a lot of time dedication to it. I got lucky. I was able to figure out the code that was in the last cache without having it, so I was able to do the final part. Got everything in there, but I got it, so I completed this weekend. And then I went to a place called the Magdalen Islands, which is another county in Canada that I did not have up to now. It's a 5-hour ferry ride to go there, back. Oh. And yes, it's a 5-hour ferry ride. And then 5 hours back. So I spent 2 days there. Work brought me there. So that was nice. So with the end of the week, I got somewhere about 30 caches found, 15 adventure lab completed, including one with 10 stops. And then back home and trying to catch up. Now I got 15 to log. Lots of bonuses today. Unfortunately, I found the last few that I found were how can I say that? Held on a tree by some metal piece of a metal item that's into the bark of the tree.
Man. So not
little screws, eyelet screws and into the trees, and they're holding it on that. So I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can say, do I approach a reviewer? Or I send something up to HQ, or just let it go? The advice is out there.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And then I got an event tomorrow morning at hosting.
Yeah, that does sound like a burning question.
Come back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that. So hold that thought about something metal in a tree. Yeah.
It's not a nail. It's pretty close to it.
And it wasn't an artificial Christmas tree.
No, and it was not a dead tree.
Okay, we'll come back to that. And then so next up I'm showing Tom and then Jeffrey.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I did get to an event on Tuesday, clear up in Redmond. I've been working for several weeks now on my geo art. I put out 6 more today, and I want to thank Charles for pointing me in the right direction with the Olympic Rings geo art that's in Ontario. So I borrowed the questions and got forwarded the color rings so that I can put them on all of the mystery caches. I've got 36 out actual physical caches out of 60. And I've got Ashton done, but I just started on Eden. I'm doing two geo arts, one on top of the other. So it's going to be a total of 196 caches.
Wow.
That's ambitious for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. I got them pretty well clustered in 550 to 700 feet apart.
Okay.
Okay.
Ashton was almost 3 miles long.
Mhm.
Spelling it out in block letters.
There you go.
Yeah. So, yep. And yeah. So I've been busy and haven't been finding many caches, but
Yeah.
I'll be going back to finding caches after I get done with my project. All right, that's it for
Yeah,
today.
that's cool, Tom.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks. Yeah, it's still caching, hiding them.
Hey.
If nobody hid caches, we would have nothing to go find. So it's just as important, actually almost more important. So good work. Yeah, we'll have to think about making a trip that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to get back in that area.
Mhm.
Jeffrey, you're next. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I was just happy to see some of you at the event. Yeah. So my family and I took a vacation from May 13th to June 8th, and we hit like 16 or 17 states. And of course, I got to geocache in some of them states, most of them. And I also went to the Oklahoma City Memorial, but I hit that before Geo Woodstock, and every stop we had. I mean, if you're friends on Facebook, you'll see. You can always be my friend. I'm not sure what else to say. Oh, I had an event 3 days after I got back. So, well, I went to an event.
Okay.
All right. So in other words, you're busy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a heck of a vacation.
Quite the
Yeah.
road trip. Yeah.
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 Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. It's funny looking at your background. Oddly, it looks a lot like our front entrance.
It looks like our house.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's my front entrance.
Yeah. Ours is very similar looking. It's upstairs though, but he's in our house. Awesome, thanks. Lori looks like she's in a safe spot to talk now. We've been watching her driving. Go ahead, Lori.
Yep, she's getting set up here. Gonna unmute any moment and
What? Yeah, I just came back from my second event in 2 days.
that you
So
attended.
that's where I was driving.
Were you hosting or attending?
I was hosting. Of course. Who else is going to host? So I hosted one yesterday, and then I hosted one today. And then as the WSJ Washington State Geocaching Association's chapter rep for OP, I'm hosting my first event tomorrow in Alma, which is between, for anybody who knows Washington, it's between Olympia and the ocean, Aberdeen, Ocean Shores. And then I'm releasing a adventure lab. So we're leaving early in the morning to go over there and test run it, and make sure it looks good before I release it tomorrow. But yeah, busy. But I'm going to be on an epic 18-ish day road trip with 2 other people to Oklahoma to go to Cache Fest. And I think I get 9 states potentially.
Wow.
But we're just gonna take it slow and easy and just not rush it and just enjoy it. I have key things that we're targeting, but we're gonna add to it as we go. And so yeah, looking forward. And then I get to see my college friends that I have not seen since she left Washington many moons ago on our way. So pretty exciting.
Wow.
So yeah.
Double dipping in goodness there. I don't know if that's allowed.
Sounds pretty epic. Yeah. So you obviously have a summer break then.
Next Tuesday at 11:30.
Kudos to him.
I love it. Awesome. Well, great time. I can't wait to hear a full report.
Okay.
And nice shirt, by
Yeah,
the way.
Oh, thank you. I got lots of compliments on it today, but somebody said I needed to have an on and off switch here.
No, there's no off switch with
That's
geocaching.
just on. Yeah.
It's always on. Right.
But I did hear something about who else is going to Cache Fest. I thought somebody said Robert.
Yep, for sure.
And somebody
Okay.
else. Somebody else mentioned
Tony. Tony
Golden.
going.
Mhm.
Oh, Tony. Okay.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can connect up there. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited.
Mhm.
Second mega of the year. So
Wow. Yeah, the things you got to do when Tri-Cities isn't around anymore, right?
Yeah. Tri-Cities event this year. It kind of opens up the calendar a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
well, having fun helps make it go a little easier to go further out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So Scott, you've got your hand back up. Go ahead.
So could I go ahead and share a screen?
Oops. Hold please. Yeah, you did tell me. Hang on here. And go.
There you
Where is that screen? Yep. So one of the things that I got to do was meet up with KC11. KC_11 is the person who started this whole historic routes thing, putting together the Lincoln Highway. And whoops. Am I still here? I just got a message that I wasn't. He started the whole Lincoln Highway thing, and then I took over and did Route 66. And here is.
And now we lost you.
Oh,
this
no.
is where it intersects. Okay.
We lost Scott. Scott, you froze.
I just saw him a few seconds ago.
Yeah, he was there, then he wasn't. So we'll have to come back.
Yeah. So we'll stretch. Did you do any geocaching since the last time we were on?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a very good question. I'm not sure we really did.
I did. I
Yeah.
found one geocache.
You did.
While I was in Minnesota last week.
Mhm.
I could see it was new from the hotel room. I cached out the little area where we normally stay when I go to Minnesota for business. And the new cache was published. I could see it from the hotel room, about straight line 0.2 miles, which should have been my early warning because it's 2 tenths. I'm not doing it. But anyway. So I decide to do this after I get back from the factory, and the route I had to take walking was about maybe 0.35 miles when it's all said and done. I'm about 1,000 feet from ground zero, and the day turned from sunny to now it's hailing on me, and it hurt. God. And so I turn around, kibosh this, turn around, head back to the hotel. I'm dripping and get up to my room, and of course, as I'm trying to get into my room, there's a lady across the hall getting into her room. She looks at me and she goes, "Oh, that was me yesterday." Yeah, it just
it's a different kind of rain in the Midwest than what we have here.
Especially when it's hard, knocks you out.
Yeah, that too.
It was a funny. So I did go get it the next night, and it was a funny geocache. It was just a regular hide, nothing puzzly or multi or anything. but the name of it caught my eye. It was called Death Stones. And so I'm reading the description, a good title has you want to read the description. And so it was all about this cemetery where this was at, and this guy's young daughter, called them Death Stones. And I guess that's what headstones are. And she began calling funerals death parties. And he said he couldn't think of a better way to explain what they were. So this is what this cache was. And well, I'm walking along there and the next day, and it's a tiny little cemetery that is on a church grounds. So it's a medium-sized church building, but with lots of grounds. And it has its own long driveway to the church. And it was just sort of ironic because they had a electronic sign at the entrance to the road, and this electronic sign said, bloom wherever you're planted, which was mere steps from another sign that pointed to the church or to the cemetery. And then the cache was in the cemetery. So I don't know if I want to bloom where I'm planted there, but okay. just just sort of it all just it seemed like there was a theme cooking.
Just a little bit, yeah.
It was one cache. I don't think I'll ever forget it. I mean, this thing was nothing but a fake rock. I think it came from you. That it was in a giant old knot hole in a tree. I mean, it was like muggle proof because there'd be no expectation that there couldn't be a rock in this hole.
Yeah.
And, and it was awesome. It was a great story, and just the way things worked out.
Second time was the charm. Yeah.
So we got Scott back.
We did. Yeah, Scott, would you like to try again?
I'll just say, so tomorrow at that intersection of Route 66 and Lincoln Highway, there's going to be a virtual reward published.
Okay, and that's what we were looking at. Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
that's what I was sharing, and I think I learned that you can't share full screen.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Interesting. Yeah. Things are always changing online, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I love that those two intersected, because for you that was a big intersection of two big projects that you're a big part of. So
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
part of both of them actually, because I did get to set one on the Lincoln Highway also, which inspired me to organize Route 66.
right. Yeah.
And just as an aside, we've KC11, going along over the past 2 years or so, his name's popped up as all this developed, and it's just one of those things. I'm assuming that was KC11 in the picture.
Yep.
And that is not how I pictured KC11 was.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Oh, it's different meeting people in person. Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Yeah. So if you know the GC code, even though it's not published yet, that'd be great if you could share that so people could look it up tomorrow, perhaps, or what have you, or save it for 2 weeks and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
In our next get together.
That's a burning question. What is the GC code?
Yeah. Yeah. So burning questions.
Yeah. So we wanted to get back. I want to get back to Charles' situation that has developed a instant classic burning question. And, it really hasn't happened much to me where I'm out finding geocaches that violate what I know to be they're not rules, but they're guidelines. Yeah. And what do I do when that happens? Yeah, that's my burning question. What do I do, people? Fill me
Yeah. What's our
in.
ethical obligation, or is there one? Or what do you normally do when you find something that makes you question the hide, how it's hidden, or something around that? It doesn't seem like the right way to do things. But
Mhm.
things are different in different areas as well, too. So, yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever notified a reviewer for something that I thought was not so
Mhm. The really
copacetic.
the times that us, me and
Mhm.
you, we often run into that or on these cash machines
I
we've
was just
talked
thinking
about.
that. Yeah.
You know, where there's a bunch of us, and we're all going after the same caches all day.
Mhm.
And we know that part of the participants is probably one, two, maybe three reviewers. And so we just look at ourselves and say, oh, well, we're happy we found it before reviewer such and such got there
Yeah.
because they'll archive it on the spot.
And self-cleaning,
Yeah.
those will be taken care of.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case that you're caching with, 80 other people in one day, all doing the same
Right.
caches.
So-
Although, well, we did have some similar situation. I was thinking of the Dove Geo Art
Yeah, but
and
that was but it was, yeah,
and a Geo Woodstock. But
it was getting archived as we were
as
driving
we were
along,
finding,
yeah.
they were disappearing quickly. It was poorly done. Hides.
So I'll take Mountain Goat 50's advice. I won't give them a favorite point.
Well, there's a start. Yeah.
And I'll put it in the log. I would have gave you a favorite point if it wasn't such a blatant violation of it. What you got, Scott?
Yeah.
You know, I've only done it once or twice. One was hidden right at the front steps of a school.
Ooh.
And so I looked for it. I don't even think I found it, but I did report that and it got archived pretty quickly. As far as I didn't hear exactly what happened with Charles, but yeah, somebody drove a nail and then like stuck a. I've seen that. I I haven't reported it.
Right.
It's I know that it's not supposed to be done, but also it's not killing the tree.
Exactly. And then that's what I was sort of wondering too, is how egregious does this have to be? An ammo can buried 3/4 of the way. Is that buried or not?
Use the
And what's
pointy
it?
object to move dirt
Yeah,
to
what
hide a cache.
what's that hurting? And
Mhm.
yeah.
And there's also the difference of if it's on private property and it's their own property, you can bury them or damage your own tree, but it's setting a bad example for other cachers that will come along and not know any better next time, I think. But Dick, I think you might have some thoughts here.
Well, yeah, and that was just commenting on something we had down in Las Vegas, which was apparently exactly the same as what Scott was just talking about. A young cacher had done something to a tree, put something nail or a screw or something drilled into it, and we handled it by contacting him and saying, you're really not supposed to do this, and let it go at that. I don't remember whether or not he corrected it or not. I think he responded and said, well, his dad had told him it was okay to do that or something like that. But my thoughts on it are basically this. One is the problem a result of inexperience and a sense that the cacher is not really, violating the guidelines intentionally? In which case, I think I would just, say, hey, this is theoretically not supposed to be. I'd send a message to him. I wouldn't put it in the log. I'd try to message him privately rather than embarrass the person. The other thing is if it's really an egregious violation of something that is very clearly shouldn't be done, like Scott was saying, the steps of a school.
Yeah, no kidding.
Something like that, or well into a posted area that's private and, no trespassing, and they're not just, a couple feet over the line or something like that, but they're well into an area they shouldn't be in, then I think I would probably send a message to the reviewer or say, hey, this needs to be taken care of. I think we ran into something like that in Seattle a year or two ago, and I contacted someone I knew that was a reviewer and said, hey, look, this cache, number one, oddly enough, this particular cache was a new person had put it out and it got published and he hadn't actually put the cache out yet. So that we're out there thrashing around for about 45 minutes with 2 or 3 experienced cachers and can't find it. And come to find out later, well, he hadn't put it out yet. But then the other part of it was in a little park that was clearly marked as a private park, residents only. And I think the reviewer at that point archived it. So I guess that's my sense. Is it an egregious thing? Then I would try to see that it got called to the attention of the appropriate reviewer. If it's not, I probably just let it go. And if it's an inadvertent thing, I would communicate directly with the cacher in a way that hopefully didn't embarrass him publicly, and like putting it in a log or something like that. I wouldn't do that.
All right.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, we can mentor. We don't have to be the cache police, right? It's a great thing to reach out to. Unfortunately, newer cachers don't always understand that people can even message them, but it's something we can sure try to reach out and be a mentor, help them out.
I would make one other comment, because you were talking about it, about buried ammo cans and stuff. My thoughts on that are basically this. I have seen so many caches that have been placed in the ground, but are exposed on the surface. So they're not technically buried, but they're down in the ground. In fact, I just sent Scott a link to a map of the Santa Fe Trail Geo Tour, which is 72 caches from the middle of Missouri to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And a lot of those caches, if you've ever found one, it's SFGT series. Almost all of them are a large plastic irrigation box size. And in that's set down in the ground. A lot of them in Kansas are right behind the Daughters of the American Revolution concrete monuments, between that and a barbed wire fence in the middle of nowhere, set down in the ground in an ammo can in that box, or a Tupperware in that irrigation type box. And I have a hard time, I guess, agreeing with the position that you can't put something in the ground like that, because what do you say to the guy that put out the very first geocache? That's exactly what he did.
Exactly.
So anyway, that's my thought about stuff in the ground. I don't report that. I if it's not buried. Anyway, sorry.
Well, so, and yeah, you're absolutely right. And as Scott will find out, Mingo is on the bitter edge of being compliant to today's guidelines.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously grandfathered in, but
yeah.
Mike's like,
and that's the other thing that I take into account is, how old is this hide?
Yeah.
If it was placed a long time ago, it's more than likely the guidelines have changed after. And so
And we've definitely seen a lot of poorly placed geotour caches, as they're placed by visitor centers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the ones I hid for ours.
Okay. No. The promotion type geotours where they're really not geocachers. And a lot of those we've found have been poor placements, but we try to help them out and give them tips on how to do it better.
So a related burning question is, were we correct in doing this? The situation was similar. And the last day we were in Flagstaff, Sunday, our plane was later in the day, so we ran around getting caches, and one of them was some highly favored caches, and I can't remember what state park it was in now, but it was a state park, and we drive out there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the description has it, yeah, you got to do this, and it's $3 to get in. Oh, okay, well, we can afford $3. And we get out there and no, it's not $3 anymore. What was it, like $25 a head?
A head, yeah,
To get into this state park.
to do this earth cache.
Yeah. And that's when we decided for the second time this trip that we don't like earth caches that much and turn around.
Yeah.
And we posted, this sort of needs maintenance. You need to update your description here. And so the burning question is that a correct thing for us to do to post that type of needs maintenance?
Yeah. Seemed like it was the right thing to do at the time.
Well, yeah, but now we've got maintenance regret. So
Yeah.
posting regret.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Dick and Scott.
Yeah, I'll keep it short, but what you just asked, I would say absolutely you should post that in the log. That you get out there, you find out that that's changed, because you're doing other geocachers a favor by saving them a trip out, not knowing it's going to cost them 20 or $25 to get in there. If it's out in a location they have to drive to, I would absolutely say put that in the log to warn other people. It's just like anything else. You're warning somebody of a danger or something they need to be aware of.
Sure. Good point. Dr. D said that sounds like that particular cache was actually archived. So,
After the need maintenance, thanks.
Oh,
Thanks,
it was
planner.
that,
He's pointing his finger at us.
well, I must say that poor ranger at the entrance who was taking money, she knew right away what we were talking about. She goes, "I'm sorry, but that description is out of date." She knew exactly what to say.
If you can turn around this way.
Yeah. And I felt so sorry for her because she's getting, this.
The whole bunch of us there,
A lot
yeah.
of us, I'm sure, that weekend for sure. Go ahead, Scott.
I guess two things. One, maintenance of the cache page is part of cache maintenance. If things change, if the size of it changes, you should be going in there and changing that. That is necessary. It's also curious that GCHQ has put out a notification to people who have earth caches, but they have not been on geocaching.com for more than 5 years. So they are trying to clean up these earth cache situations. For what purpose, I'm not exactly sure, but this is the second time that in about a month that we've gotten a notification about earth caches. The first is they're trying to change the guidelines to make it so that the questions are up on top, not at the bottom, and make it so that the earth cache is talking about one item, not the entire history of the earth surface. so kind of interesting, and that it was archived. Doesn't surprise me for Arizona, but that it got archived so quickly. But but that's, if the person isn't maintaining it, that's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now we don't feel so bad.
I didn't feel bad to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I felt misled.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty drive, but we could have found a handful of other caches by wasting our time and that poor ranger's time as well. Tom Fuller.
Yeah, the middle sister lookout tower cache has been found. I was informed by BM Freeman, so but nobody logged it online yet.
Oh, maybe they're on a trip.
So he adopted it from me since I couldn't maintain it.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and the lookout, Mac Tippins, will be up there sometime within the next 2 weeks to start his stay at the lookout,
Oh,
middle sister.
oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just thought I'd let you know that.
Yeah, thanks for the update. It's so pretty up there. Scott, raise your hand.
Yeah, burning question. Kind of the opposite of what we were talking about. And this is has happened to me for a few times where I'm on the public roadway looking for a geocache and somebody asks me what I'm doing. I tell them and they say, well, this is private property, and it's not. So what do people do under those circumstances? Do you go ahead and stop looking for the geocache? Do you find the geocache, put it back, or do you just realize that the person is probably going to take the geocache as soon as you walk away? So that's my burning question.
Yeah, I definitely have thoughts
Interesting,
on
yeah.
this.
Wait, Scott, when you say it's not on private property, how so?
It's by the, well, one case is it's within it was within 10 feet of the road. So
Yeah. Right of way.
the road's right away. And it was an ammo can, and I was getting yelled at from quite a ways away. That's I don't okay, technically it probably is private property because all land is owned by somebody, but it was on a public roadway. The 2 or 3 of the times that I've done it, it's been on a public roadway.
Okay. Well, I think we've got some folks that have some ideas for you.
Yeah.
So we'll go Vince and then Ken.
Yeah, I had that happen one time. I was out on a rural road and I was searching for a hide, and it wasn't far off the roadway. It was it was fairly within probably what they call the road right away. And then somebody drove by who claims they knew the property owner, said that I was on private property and asked what I was doing. And of course, I explained what I was doing and what I was looking for. And I says, well, they usually, you know, figure that if it's within like 33 feet or whatever, the guidelines are, that's considered, public right away. But I just explained to the person, well, I know who the cache owner is, and I've got his contact in my phone, and I will, gladly notify him and just let him handle it from there. And then that's what I ended up doing. I just notified the cache owner.
Okay. That's a lot along the lines that I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear from Ken and then
Then I've got a thought as well.
yeah, and
Maybe
then we'll hear
think of
from you.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ken.
Found where my mouse was so I could unmute it. So one of the things that with right of way on all but generally subdivision and some town lots, the owner owns to the middle of the road. So even though my property, I live on a state road, I have a 55-foot right of way off center of road that is part of the public right of way. I actually do own to the center of the road in front of my house. So anytime a cache is hidden in a stop sign in somebody's yard and along a field, it is on private property. So the problem the owner has, many times they don't care. Farmers may not care because as long as you're not messing with stuff. But if you injure yourself, the owner is liable for any injury that occurs on that property. Right of way is given to the state, who then will deem out further issuances of that to allow you to build a road, utilities, to pass through it. And the key word is pass through, not stop. Unless there's obviously impedance on the road. You can't go yell at somebody in a traffic jam in front of your house telling them to move. But that is the actual conveyance of the right of way, and that is something that's not broadly understood. In the US, every bit of land is owned by somebody, whether that's the government or whether that is a private individual. So it is something we work hard in my area, at least any of my family's hides. We have worked and we have got a lot of farmers. We've got farmers that own tens of thousands of acres in our area that we have got permission that we can run down the dirt roads, put stuff on their easement, on their siding. But because most of them, they don't care as long as you're not having somebody tramp out in the field or destroy crops, they don't care. But there are other farmers that if somebody gets hurt, you could sue them. If you trip over a tree root reaching for that cash, the property owner actually is in the end liable for that accident. Now they could countersue you for trespassing, but that's how today's legal system works. That can be an interesting road.
Yeah,
I definitely learned something there. So thank you, Ken, for that. Yeah. Yeah, we do think that there's, public right of way, but yeah, maybe not so much public. Yeah. I was just thinking back on a couple of instances when I hid the Danicus power trail out between here and towards Ritzville on just off of I-90, not off the highway. I mean, it was like, on another road, a very quiet road. I actually contacted the county and talked to their public works people and let them know what I wanted to do and how I was going to do it. And they're like, that sounds great. Just be sure, stay away from, this spot and bridges and that sort of thing. And they were excited to have me hide 100+ caches out in their county to draw cachers out that way. So there's one thing, but then I was also thinking of another one. Somebody had hidden a cache. It's actually in front of the Campbell's house. Some of our friends of a couple actually that met in high school. They're high school sweethearts and in my grade. We had graduated together, got married, had a family, and they lived out in the country, and someone had hidden a cache. Technically, we thought it was in the public right of way, but it was very close to their driveway.
Yeah.
And they had little children at the time, and they were concerned for the traffic coming up, and they had cachers actually going up their driveway and then turning around and coming back out because the coordinates were off a little bit. And so for that one, I figured out who the cache owner was and contacted them and asked them if they could please move it. I don't remember exactly what happened, if it was archived or just moved down the road, but
I thought the Campbells moved away.
Well, that too,
Oh.
but that was a long time ago. Yeah. But that's an instance where
Yeah,
the cache
absolutely.
hide's probably fine, but it's causing public alarm of some sort. So contact the cache hider and see if something can be, resolved there. Jim, I think you've got some ideas for us too.
Well, just a couple of clarifications on one of the things Ken said is he talked about, well, if you get injured, you can sue the property owner. Another potential problem is even if you're a good guy and you don't want to sue them, if you end up in the emergency room and your sickness insurance company has to pay anything, when you signed up for the insurance, you give them the right to sue on your behalf for an accident. So if you get injured in front of your best friend's house, who you'd never sue in your wildest dreams, your health insurance company still can do that. And the other thing is, if you look back at the drama when the original ET trail was archived, the Nevada Highway Department was ready to ban geocaches on all right-of-ways in Nevada.
Yeah.
And it was only the local businesses throwing a fit that got it reversed.
Yep.
And a lot of places that wouldn't happen. So my suggestion is use some common sense on your roadside caches and don't put them in places where the adjacent landowner is likely to get upset. Do the best you can. And if the landowner says, hey, I don't like that, you're my property, just accept it and move the cache or archive it or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's exactly, we touched
Mhm.
on the dove at the St. Louis Geo Woodstock, and which was geo art, and so all the hides were out on rural roads, and it was crazy how many of these hides were like right by the driveways entrance to farmhouses and stuff.
Yeah. And it's a mega event, so there
Yeah.
were dozens and dozens of cars coming through at any given moment.
Yeah, it was oh well, no wonder why this one got complained on. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Leonard.
Leonard.
Well, some of you Spokane people might remember, I think it was in 2010, there was a cacher that got killed up there in Spokane. He fell off about a 25-foot rock wall.
Yeah.
And I heard it through the grapevine, and it was actually on the news from Spokane that night. And before they finished discussing the situation, they said, well, they were trying to find out who would be held responsible for this man's death, which, according to our standards, it's your own damn fault if you get hurt going for a cache. But I never did hear any more of the outcome on that, if any legal action was taken on it. But I know JD, Lisa, you guys probably remember that one. It was pretty close to you guys.
Yeah, it was in Ditchman Hills.
Yeah, I was actually on the news for that. They interviewed me.
And shortly after that, is that when the disclaimers from GCHQ came out, when the app became available and you open up the app, it starts off, geocaching is dangerous. You could slip and fall. And
assume all risks. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing those warnings until after that.
Oh, I do, but yeah, definitely up front for sure. And the cache owner of the cache that this gentleman was going for changed all of their write-ups as well. And they were quite horrified, honestly.
Oh yeah, they were
traumatized by what had happened. It was awful.
And I remember at the time I had a hide that I thought when I hit it 2 years prior, I was being clever. It was at the base of a Palisades, right? So you were coming you would normally come at the top of the Palisade on a trail or a road, and then you would see, oh, it's 50 feet past this sheer cliff I'm looking, and then go another 30, 40 feet to the road down. And just me not thinking, some people don't, oh, wait, I can go this direction a little bit more and then find a path down,
or just try to jump.
Or they would just try to scale this Palisade. And yeah, so on that particular hide, I changed the write-up. And now it's long gone, but yeah, it just, ever since, where am I hiding stuff? Is this going to put people in danger? Yeah.
Yeah. But those are some burning questions. Yeah. Well, Hilo says it's time for pet check.
Apparently it's pet check.
Jeff, you've got a Hilo too.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, looks like you've stolen our cat up in our front door.
No, we stole his cat.
That could be. Oh, I love it. So Mike has got his little pet there. Charles has a picture of his dogs. We'll have to assume Molly is. Oh, there's Molly.
Traveling?
Yeah, I think they're back home.
Oh, okay.
She's ignoring you. Oh. Oh. Hey, Nancy.
Bella, all sorts of, yeah.
Oh, there's Miss Bella. Excellent. Cool. Well, Hilo's still here. He's just laid down on my lap. He got tired. 16 is getting up there for a cat, right? Right? Oh, now he's gonna be
Yeah.
quiet.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, any other burning questions? We've had some really good
Jeffrey has his
conversation.
hand up.
Jeffrey, yeah, go ahead.
It's not really on that subject, but I was wondering how many of you have reserved a room for next geocaching event in Morgantown.
Oh, for Geo Woodstock, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is a burning question. We have not yet. Has anybody else? Not yet. Ken has thumbs up.
Yeah, well, his room is where his house is. He doesn't need to leave, so we're all crashing at Ken's place.
Hey, can I bring my trailer?
Got plugins?
You're welcome to park your trailer at my place, but it's going to be a 7-hour drive for you to get down to Morgantown.
Yeah, he's not that close. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, man. It's less than from where I am.
yeah.
Come on, girls.
I'm an hour and a half, so it'd be a long commute every day, but it is doable.
Excellent.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Remember, Charles, though, that this isn't in metric.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. I used to do more of that for swimming every weekend. Come on, girl.
Right? Yeah. Oh, there's some pooches.
Yes.
Yep.
A little here, and there's Piper, Piper, Piper. Okay, no more. No more.
No more.
Oh, all gone.
Yeah, you gotta show your hands like a blackjack dealer.
Yeah.
No more.
No,
Yep.
yeah. So are there hotel blocks already set up and special codes to get special rates? Does anybody know yet, or is it too early? Don't know yet. Okay.
That might be too early.
That's possible. Yeah.
Mhm.
I know that they had an event last Saturday to start some planning. I had other commitments Saturday morning, so I couldn't get there in time. But they were like, bring your computers, we'll have lunch. And I mean, it was a serious beginning planning event.
Awesome.
So,
well, you'll have to be our fly on the wall for future meetings. Let us know what's going on.
I will try to stay in the know.
Excellent.
I actually have family that lives down in the area, so I might just be sleeping on somebody's couch.
Well, that makes sense.
Yep,
Yeah,
perfect.
for sure. Good plan.
Mhm.
Yeah, so definitely there's a Facebook page. There's the Connect page group already for next year's Woodstock. And of course, they've got a website up as well, too. That'll have information and they'll be adding to that, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, Hilo says sure.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we're going to take you, Betty. Sorry.
Mhm. And then it's interesting. It's nice to see Mike Majay tonight. And it's sort of odd because just prior to coming on the air, we're looking for pictures of her rig, her car, her Escape.
The Escape.
And I'm saying, well, remember that day we went as a group, 2 cars up to find, Camel's Prairie and the outlooks, the lookouts.
Lookouts. Look out.
I swear to goodness, Ross took a picture of us just turning around the middle of the road, and it turned out just like a perfect advertising photo of the Ford Escape out in the woods.
Yeah.
So we were trying to find
Just
that.
starting to find those pictures.
And then
Go look.
there you are.
It's a crazy day.
Yep.
Yeah. But that was fun. That's Idaho's oldest. It was a trip we made up to Camel's Prairie Stash. It's a couple hours outside of Spokane area. So yeah, we're starting to shop for a new vehicle to replace my 19-year-old Ford Escape. Alas, she's showing her age a little bit.
No, she's getting really expensive to maintain.
That too.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, same thing.
Same
Okay,
thing.
got it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. My trusty steed. Yeah. So, any other burning questions folks might have, or you can save them for next time as well.
Well, Mike in chat asked,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you forget the sunscreen?
Oh, for the burning question?
Yeah.
Very good. Actually, I did oddly burn my hands at Woodstock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was kind of cool some of those days, and I was covered up to here, and I had a hat on, so just my hands were exposed, and they got a little bit overdone. Chris, go ahead, Chris. I see your hands up. We can't hear you. You're not on mute, but we can't hear you. Yeah, we're holding.
To answer Ken's question, it's we're shooting for a car payment. And
Oh, we're paying cash. Yeah.
All right, can you hear me now?
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
All right, sorry, that's the problem of having too many microphones. All right, so my burning question is, my two favorite mega events have been Tri-Cities and Going Caching. Tri-Cities is already dead and gone. This is the last year for Going Caching. What do you guys recommend? What is the hot new mega event to go to that's on par with like Tri-Cities or Going Caching?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, yeah, that is burning one.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
Ken's shaking his head at me over there. He's like,
Well, Melissa has her hand up.
Yeah.
It's not new, but Midwest Geobash is so much fun.
well, I've heard about that. What's it like? I mean, what kind of event is that? What do you do?
Bob, Nancy, Ken can all answer better because they've been multiple times and I've been once.
Our catcher.
But we are signed up. We are going back because we had so much fun last year. They do on the grounds. These people create these really cool caches to go for. There's a poker run. There's bingo. It's a real social event, which I thought was really cool.
It's also a camp out. It's on fairgrounds, and there's a huge area, so you can live there for, a long weekend as well with, 1,000 of your favorite new geocaching friends.
So HD Bob and Jim Starcasher, I think they'll fill you in, Chris. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, well, I've been to all but two since 2012. It is, in my opinion, and maybe that's because I'm more social. I see it as a social event. There's camping. There's a lot of days we may only find a couple caches and do the events. But there is like about 1,000 caches in the county, maybe more. I haven't run a check on it to see how many there are. Jim Starcacher probably can tell you to the number how many caches there are in that county. But you can camp on site because it's a fairgrounds. There's probably, I don't know, 500 campsites. I don't know. There's a lot of campsites. And every night there's something going on the fairgrounds. The events, unlike what we had at Woodstock, are not scattered throughout the county. They're pretty much all right there on site. There are hotels in the area and the surrounding towns. I've not stayed in any of those because I've either camped or day tripped them. Because I live about a little over an hour away, hour and 20 minutes, I think. So first few years I day tripped, but when I really started enjoying it was when I camped, and that really made it a much more enjoyable event. There's probably 40 or so caches on the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds are very easy working with us to allow us to hide gadget caches. I mean, every year after Bash, you can see the state's newest favorite caches are all up there in Wasion area. But camping's extremely reasonable. Was it like $60 for 4 or 5 nights?
Yeah.
Yeah, the camping is pretty cheap, all things considered.
Yeah, 65 for free service.
Yeah, and you're close to 3 states, so if you're trying to add states or things like that, there's a lot of other things you can do during the daytime. So poker runs are great. They have night cache in the woods, which kind of almost got me in trouble one year, but that's a whole nother story. But I'll let some of the other guys tell about it.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jim?
Yeah, so Jim and Jeffrey, yeah.
Kind of like what Bob said. I mean, I've been going for 10 years. This I think this will be my 11th year. And I only live 25 miles away from there. But the first year I did the day tripping, but after that I camp on the campgrounds because I want to be in the center of the activity. Without having to drive home and whatever. But another thing about it is that's different. It's like 5 days long. Well, 4 technically days, 5 calendar days, but 4 actual days. But the activities are spread out for basically that time period. Therefore, one of the things I hate about Geo Woodstock is you go to Geo Woodstock and you have to decide. I want to go to this event, or I want to go to this session, but I also want to go to this session. But you have to choose between 2 sessions that are competing. And it's like that. The whole day is like, you're going to miss something here, and whatever. For the Midwest Geo Bash, it's much more relaxed time. Some things are a little bit overlap, but you still have time to do whatever you want to do. You don't have to rush to and decide about missing this or missing that. And you have plenty of time to go caching if you want to go caching. You don't want to go caching, just stay there on the fairgrounds and socialize to your heart's content. And I mean, the whole fairgrounds is just full of people, and everybody is a geocacher. It's like you're all friends, even though you may never met them before, but you're friends with everyone that's there. So yeah, it's a great place to go to a mega. So definitely would recommend it. Try it one time. Try it one time. If you don't agree, then go to another mega. Because there's a lot of megas. I want to try to do it at least once.
Awesome. Well said. Jeffrey?
On the way home from our little vacation, I noticed that exit 31, I think, is closed on the turnpike. You can tell me if I'm a little bit off, but you have to go all the way to 39 to cut back to the event. Does that sound about right? If you're only 25 miles away, you should know more than me.
It might be fixed by then.
Hopefully it'll be repaired.
They had a note on the webpage about it was going to be down this year. So to plan accordingly when you planned your getting there.
So
they said by next year it should be fine.
So the lesson is read the cache page.
Right?
Read the cache page.
Yeah. Always a good tip.
Well, I thought it was good that the state highway or whatever did notify them that this might be an issue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's such a regular event. I'm sure it draws a lot of traffic. I've been there just twice over the years and had a blast. And hopefully I'm going to be able to make it this year again. So I know, yeah. Nancy, you guys have definitely made it easy for me. So looking at the time.
So Chris, we just were able to give you a 1
One really good one,
Yeah.
for sure.
That was a pretty strong recommendation.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I think you guys would enjoy it.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's other ones as well. As Cash
Yeah.
Fest and such. And there's one
Mhm.
happening in Hawaii next year.
Cash Fest is in
Uh-huh.
Hawaii next year, so
Yeah.
yeah.
That could be
But
fun.
coming up this year,
This year, yeah.
Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah. Looks
Oh.
like Charles and Ken got some hands there. So go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, so I'm just verifying the I'm going for the first time, by the way, this year. And I'm camping, so I'm looking forward to it. So I'm in the F section. I was looking at it. As still, if you're who was asking the question there, she disappeared on me. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Anyways, I'm going camping for the first time there. First time there, anyways, camping. So I'm looking forward to do that. I'm just looking at the map. It looks like both direction it is closed right now, according to Google Maps. So probably your GPS one will take you maybe an alternate route to get there. So just plan it a little bit. If you're camping, I think it's 4 o'clock on the Wednesday. You can't get in until then. So, and from what I hear, there's a big convoy of vehicles trying to get in
Yeah.
at the same time. So, Jim probably could talk about more or can about those, but I plan to be there maybe a little later than that, just so let the convoy go in and then set up. So,
Nice.
the lots, if anybody's camping new for the first time, they're 30 foot. I've been told they're 30 feet tall, long, but it could be a little bit generous. My camper is 33 foot plus the truck and everything's 53 feet all told. So I took two back to back sites. So I have space for a little pool for the doggies and not be all scratched up.
Mhm.
Oh, fun.
So we got Ken, and then Nancy is raising her hand too.
So I also have a 33 footer trailer. I talked to one of the organizers because it used to be you could come in and park whatever way, and they've ruling where you have to do tongue out now. But for like the case of mine, I've talked to them, and as long as I'm not parking it sideways and I'm mostly pointing out, they're fine with that. Because I have to angle off a little bit to fit in. Having a 33 footer, the tongue sticks out about 2 feet into the road if I don't. So it's but it may be different in that section with the drive. When I park, I just have it just a little bit of an angle. The turnpike is going through massive upgrades right now. They're redoing gates. There's actually a section of the toll road that is not tolled through there now. And it is a single exit getting off of it, both directions that go onto a bridge set. As they're pulling those out, I'm guessing that they're taking the plaza out, which is probably why it's such a extended closure right now. US 20 runs, I want to say 3 miles north of the fairgrounds, maybe 4, and it is a 55-mile-an-hour posted, 65-mile-an-hour traveled road. So and there's exits every so what, Bob, you think that's a great way to reference it or something? But yeah, it's any of the exits you get off on, just head north to 20 or potentially south to 20 alternate, and it's going to be fast traveling coming into the fairgrounds. So that's not if you're pulling the travel trailer, that's those two roads are going to handle you no problem. And like you said, I put in the chat, just picture a big camping weekend with friends and just up that friend count over 2,000. That's what Midwest is. So this will be my 14th year. But I know, having went to going caching, every mega has its own flavor. And like what Chris was saying, I've been trying to find, okay, Going Caching's down, Moga's down, Tri-Cities is down, Metro Gathering is going down this year. So you have a lot of opening, and hopefully some new stuff does emerge. I've been using the Project GC event notifier, which is a premium feature, and I set the radius out. I don't remember, either as long as it could, wide as it could, or 500 miles, and said, if an event hits 100 will attends, send me an email on it. And I've seen a few events that, like something in Wisconsin that popped up, but I'm using that to kind of try and find those large regional gatherings. And there's some, I mean, truthfully, some of those are more fun to go to than the mega, because you actually can go meet somebody, know who they are, and form a good friendship. And so I've been trying to use that tool to help look for further events that, give me something different to do and new to see. So I've been to a lot of the megas, but I don't know of anybody that has Going Caching's DNA that is in the pipeline at the moment. Maybe someday somebody will step up and be able to have a mind like the Waysiders and come up with something cool. I don't know. That was kind of I think one of those once in a lifetime, type of things that those who missed it, you missed it. But there'll be something else, just different.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, thanks, Ken.
good,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Awesome analysis. So
Yeah. Nancy?
we should probably end with Nancy. So Nancy, make it good. Okay.
Make it good. All right, I'll try to. So I would recommend that people go to the Hillsdale event. That's an awesome event. But I keep thinking that Alan Knight does not want it to go mega. I don't know, but we've had a good time, and unfortunately, we're going to miss it this year because my family reunion. What was I? Oh, Charles! I was going to tell Charles, come and do the pizza trail after Midwest Geobash. It still will be up and running, so come and do the pizza trail, and that's always going. So yeah, about an hour 20. Well, it's about an hour 15 minutes from Wasion and stuff, and it will take you a day to do it, but it's a cool coin.
Yeah.
So that's I do. Hopefully that was good.
That was good.
That was real good. Very tasty. Especially since we haven't had dinner and now I'm really hungry for pizza.
And
Charles, it's south.
Yeah.
Oh,
for Charles.
Yeah,
for the south. Okay. Wasion.
Everything is south for me.
For you, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Just about.
So you had special announcements?
I did. So we do have some stuff going on at Cash Advance. A lot of you may have received the emails already for our puzzle course that we've just launched. For those of you in the Cash Crate members, you got a special discount, and everybody else as well got a great discount. It's a substitution. It's learning how to do substitutions in puzzles, and it walks you through. There's 11 different videos of different types. There's a workbook, a solution guide, and an assessment at the end, and you can earn badges too. So I'm going to put the link here. And we've had a lot of people sign up for it this week. There's a lot of folks going through right now the course, and some of you, I'm not sure if I have any beta testers in this group. Well, I've got this one, beta tester. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
yes,
Melissa.
that's right,
There's you,
Melissa.
of course. Yeah. Oh. We said pizza, and my mind is just like pizza and puzzles now. Yeah. So yeah, Melissa was a beta tester. And yeah, so we've got a lot of folks that have been going through that. So there's the link there. And your code to get your 20% off is cash20 or 20. You can use the 20 cash 20 for 20% off through tonight. But this weekend, that one unfortunately was set to end, and I decided to extend it. So it's CACHE 2 and an O, the letter O, is your 20% off coupon for the course. And it's not something you have to schedule a time for and attend live like this. It's all pre-recorded. You can do it at your leisure. You own it once you buy it. And you can go back and revisit it whenever you need to for a refresher. So, and then we also have our newest t-shirt is for sale as well on our website, and it's pretty cool looking. We don't have them in yet, so I can't model it, but there is a mock-up picture on the website. And it is a chestnut brown. It's a brand new color with the t-shirt company that we get our shirts from. And it says, "I'd rather be geocaching." And let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm wearing that thing to work.
Yeah. When we're not geocaching, we're probably all thinking about geocaching, right? So that's over on our website over at Cache Advance, so cache-advance.com. Just go down, it's in the featured section. And Jim, well, you could call them substitution ciphers.
Which Jim? That narrowed it down.
Yeah, Mountain Goat Jim.
Okay.
Yeah. I say Jim, I'm addressing half the room, right? Yeah. So it's not specific to different types of ciphers. It's more straight up substitutions, like numbers for letters and that sort of thing. If you want more information, I'm happy to walk folks through it. Just send me a message. If you'd like to look into it a little bit more. But yeah, the whole thing's a little over an hour, I think, if you watched all the videos back to back, maybe not even that long. But they're broken up. They're all about 3 to 6 minutes. Nice, short, quick lessons to get through. And then you can work on the workbook if you'd like, or just, use it for your own reference material.
So, Nancy, if you can quick pop in a starting point for the pizza trail.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
If you've got a GC
If you got
code
one right up top of your
handy,
head, yeah.
You pop that into there.
Come on, Bob.
It is Seneca County, if that helps you, Charles.
Okay.
Probably the best place to go. Yeah, probably the best place to go is senecapizzatrail.com.
Okay. Yeah.
That is the website. It has the passport on it because it's 19 caches.
Right.
And you get a 2-part coin. That's a pizza, and it has a pizza slice that comes out of it. So it's but it's only 19 caches. 3 of them are hikes, but they're all under a mile. So it's the coin.
Nice. So
Cool.
Seneca Pizza Trail.
Bob's working on it.
Oh, there it is.
Bob's GC number for you.
Okay.
I don't have a computer. My computer has 5, so
that's right.
I don't have a computer anymore.
Yeah, I remember you were having trouble with that
Yeah,
one.
we took it in. We took it in for repair, and they can't figure it out. I can't even attach a USB keyboard to it.
That's right.
The link.
Don't know.
Passport. I found it.
Okay. Oh, Charles posted for the passport. Awesome. That's a PDF there. All right. Good work. Well, great, guys. Well, this has been a really good discussion. Got lots of things. Oh, there, and you can get the t-shirt, of course.
Yeah.
Well done, Vince.
That's awesome.
And you can even spell a little pizza on it. No one will know. Right? At least the way I eat. Well, thanks again, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. Talking about our burning questions and a lot of really good answers, I think, that we got tonight. So come back in 2 weeks. We'll do it again. And otherwise, have a great time out caching. I'm actually on the road coming this week. I'll be in Salt Lake City on Monday and then Dallas Tuesday and Wednesday. Hope to get a cache or 2 in while I'm out and about. I'm shopping for new stuff for the cache crates at Market, and then attending a seminar about subscription boxes. So I'll get to hang out with 1,000 subscription box owners. It's going to be fun. All right, guys. Well, have a fantastic evening, and we'll see y'all soon. All right. Good night.
Night.